What does Charles Manson, Marshall Applewhite, David Koresh, and Jim Jones have in common? All four of these men have impeccable communication skills, excessive charisma, and they use their powers for evil. The information that I'm going to pass on is from reliable articles and interviews from cult members. Cults are an ever-present danger for countless lives. Today we'll be talking about who is a prime target to these leaders and how they indoctrinate these people into their communities. So who is a prime target? A prime target is someone who needs a place to belong or is shy, unassertive, maybe they're naive or gullible, maybe they're stressed out, someone who is easily manipulated. Which goes on to how to get these targets indoctrinated into these communities. According to Michael Bluejay, who is a member of the aesthetic realism cult, there is an 8-step process that the majority of successful cults follow. The first step is getting the target to say yes to a non-threatening event. This could be coffee or a party, a get-together, but by getting them to agree to these things early on, it instills a repeated behavior, which leads them to say yes to things later on that are a little bit more difficult. The second step is a term coined love bombing. In this step, the members and the leaders will start showering the target with praise, affection, gifts, making them feel welcome and warm and happy. And then they introduce the third step, which is dangling the prize. Most successful cults have some kind of prize towards the end of whatever term you have to serve or living there. And it can be anything from enlightenment, seeing heaven, maybe even quitting smoking, which leads to step 4, where they get the target to agree that they want the prize. By giving consent to these leaders and people, they realize that they have a much tighter grasp on them and will start to ask harder things of them, will start to manipulate them a lot worse. Which leads to step 5, which is shutting down dissent by threatening to withhold the prize. Once the target starts to hesitate, maybe second think whether or not they want to be in the cult, they'll threaten to withhold that prize. If you don't recruit for us, then you won't get enlightenment. It makes them second guess their behavior and make them feel bad for second guessing the cult leaders. Which leads to step 6, which is called the establishment of guilt. By shaming and making their members feel guilty, it lowers their self-esteem, which causes them to be able to be manipulated a lot more. It's a lot easier to manipulate someone who doesn't believe in themselves rather than someone who is self-assured. The 7th step in the indoctrination process is called behavioral conditioning or operant conditioning. Michael Bluejay refers to this as the carrot and the stick. This is where you would reward good behavior and punish bad behavior. The carrot and the stick refers to a donkey. A donkey will be a lot more likely to pull a plow if it is rewarded or bribed with a carrot, and it's a lot less likely to behave badly if it is hit with a stick. And then we're finally on to the last step in the process, which is the control of information, environment, and identity. Once the cult has complete control of these people, they have no control over themselves anymore. They're completely dependent on the leaders of this cult and its community. Once they have control of the information, what comes in, what comes out, they can't fact check these people. They can't tell if they're lying or not. And once they control the environment, they're not allowed to leave the compounds of the cult itself. They can't see what the outside life is like, if it's better than what they have. And once they control your identity, you no longer have a sense of person. For example, in the Charles Manson family cult, members would change their names from, maybe someone's name was Hannah, and they would change it to Gypsy or Tex, and they became a completely different person, someone who was completely obedient to these leaders. And these people, these cult members and leaders, are a very present danger to countless lives. We've talked about who these people target to bring into their communities and how they do it, the process to get these people to be completely obedient to them. And now that we have covered who these people are and how they lure these people in, it is important to be alert of these behaviors and promises. If someone offers a life that seems too good to be true, it probably is.